What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome to my vlog, and it's a new year, which means now slowly we're gonna start to get trickling in some of those ever lovely pieces of mail and information about taxes and stuff from this past year. So maybe we'll also start to see and hear actual legit information about the whole new tax bill thing that got passed by Congress recently. In terms of actual solid information, I gotta be honest, I don't really have a whole lot on it. So, my conjectures may be subject to change. But first off, before I really get into any of that kind of stuff, I don't know how many of you might have noticed, but good old President Trump, as the news about the tax bill came out and all that sort of stuff, doing some interviews or conversations with media and such, it was revealed, I guess you'd say, that to put it in the, I guess, best, most accurate wording possible, the individual mandate for the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, was repealed in the midst of this tax bill. I mean, if it was going to come, it kind of made sense it would come as part of a tax bill because that's very tax related, with figuring out the healthcare and how much gets subsidized or any of that kind of stuff. I don't have that much of a problem with the fact that they got rid of the individual mandate. It was just the fact that, I guess, Congress, or at least Republicans, people felt the need to kind of keep it hush-hush secretive when it was a huge topic of conversation right after Donald Trump becoming president. It was almost like they figured, well, our first attempt at repealing Obamacare didn't really work out the way we hoped. Now that some of the dust has settled, we're just kind of going to slip on in here sneakily and make this change. Which, like I said, the actual getting rid of that itself, I don't really have much of an issue with. I mean, because really when you think about it, the only downside is that a good chunk of the funding or the money that goes into the Obamacare government healthcare system kind of goes away. So that could long term provide some problems, especially for me, because I just kind of enrolled in that a little while ago. And it was already more expensive than last year. Anyway, I'm just hoping my rates don't get jacked up because of that. But really, I don't think, from a practical standpoint, I don't find it necessary to say, oh, hey, you don't have health care, let's make you pay money for not having health care. That just doesn't really make sense in my head. If somebody wants to pay a whole lot more whenever they actually need to get a procedure done, that's up to them. Getting into the actual tax bill itself, again, what I've heard isn't like it. I can't really tell what is solid fact and what is not, because the way media is anymore, you can't tell these days. But the impression that I get, based on various sources that I've heard, is that up front, it might seem like a good thing. Some people are gonna get some tax breaks or whatever, and there are certain little subsections where people are gonna have to pay less money, at least this year and maybe a couple of years following. But over the long term, the changes that have been proposed essentially make anything that's not a corporation, it's gonna make everybody and everything else pay more taxes. There are so many massive tax breaks involved in this that go to corporations that it's ridiculous. And now I heard initially people were kind of excited about that because companies were saying, oh, we're going to give these bonuses to all of our employees, and we're going to, put all this money into infrastructure and creating more jobs in the future. But then I also heard, like, within the same week, practically, some of those same companies that were saying that kind of stuff were then cutting down on some of their jobs. And so it's a little hard for me to tell from that end whether this is going to be good or bad long term. I mean, if these companies are actually going to be able to put money in and are actually going to put money in to the company itself to build the companies more and create more jobs within the US especially, then hopefully that'll work out as a good thing in the long run. But from the individual perspective, it's like you kind of have to bank on that and hope that that happens, because otherwise every individual practically is going to be taxed more in upcoming years from what I've heard. Again, this is based on things that I've heard and kind of information I've gathered from different sources, trying to see through the spin. But yeah, so I'm really not sure on the whole what to think of this tax bill. I hope it works out, but given how the process went and the way it just kind of got pushed through by force by the Republican Party, does not make me think very highly of it in the initial aftermath. That's it for this time around. As always, like and share if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my channel, click the bell, check the notification box. I've noticed it's a little difficult for the little guys on YouTube to really get much notice these days. But anyway, that's a whole different topic for another video. So, feel free to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. All that kind of stuff is going to be down in the description. Leave some comments below with your thoughts on this video or ideas you have for other things I could do. And that's all I've got. So, I hope you're all doing well, and hopefully I will see you next time. Stay cool, people.